And a big hello to you guys. Welcome to our live stream for today. It is Sunday here in Australia, and of course it means it must be what I think Saturday night over there in the US of A. It's great to see you all already in the chat room. Thank you very much for coming along and joining us. Very much appreciate it. Just so you know what's on the menu for today, for a start, you can see here, yes, we're in StarCraft. There's a very good reason for that, by the way, and that is because right now there are the global finals of StarCraft World Championship Series on in California right now, and in fact you can watch them over on Twitch. That's why there's a great big watch live now button in the middle of your StarCraft client. And it's been an exciting series so far, and of course that is all going to culminate at BlizzCon. I can't wait to see those grand finals. I was watching some of the regional global finals just before, and amazing games, absolutely amazing games, especially if you've got a little bit of knowledge about how StarCraft works. So yeah, you know what, I thought to myself, well, it's time to do another how to play StarCraft stream. So that's what we're going to do right now. It's not going to be very long. We're just going to pick up where we left off last time. So if you were joining us in the last episode, we did it a week ago, where we were covering off the very basics. Crank up your StarCraft 2 client right now if you've got it, and you can join me in a few moments as we recap what we did yesterday, or rather last week, sorry. Yesterday we screamed a lot. Recap what we did last week, and then learn just a couple more advanced little tweaks and tips so we can really start kicking things along in terms of learning how to play, because of course we're all noobs here when it comes to StarCraft 2. A lot of people play it, but a lot of people don't, and a lot of people get put off by it because it's so seemingly complex and complicated, and our aim is to try and smash that away so that you guys understand it a little bit more. Now, before I go any further, I just do want to mention that it's up to you guys as to what we stream next. So this is going to be a relatively short stream, probably about an hour or so tops. Then we're going to have a bit of a break, and then it's up to you guys. So if you have a look here in the Twitch chat, I've got a straw poll going on there, and it's pretty simple. Which game would you like us to stream next today? So after we've done a little bit of training and tutoring here in StarCraft 2, what would you like us to stream for our main stream for the final main stream of my weekend or your Saturday night? Will it be Hearthstone? Will it be Heroes of the Storm? Or will it be Diablo 3? Those are your three choices that you've got, and you can decide. So whoever gets the most votes there will decide what we stream next. It's totally up to you guys. You can see Doc Sun saying hey all in the Twitch chat there. Hello to Harvest Moon Crazed in Twitch chat. Sawi and Nemesis the Bold, big hello to all of you. And in fact, I think Doc Sun is joining us on the Mumbles as well. Doc, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hey, how's it going? Now, I can't remember. Are you a huge StarCraft 2 player, or are you a noob like me?
I think I'm even more noobish than you are.
Is that even possible? I'm not sure that that's possible, but if that's the case, good. You're the target audience indeed. Sawi032, I can see Sawi is also joining us in the Mumble chat room. Sawi from Sweden, all the way from Sweden. Can you hear me? And hello.
Hi.
Oh, you can hear me. That's good. Now, what time is it for you in Sweden now? I always forget, but it must be some crazy early time for you, right?
1:44 a.m.
Oh dear. All right, I think that's bedtime. If it was me, I'd be falling asleep. So I'm not sure if you're going to follow along because your brain's probably half asleep.
Yeah, I'm kind of crazy about that.
Yeah, you're definitely crazy, so you're going to fit right in around here. Are you a big StarCraft 2 player, Sawi, or is it something that's a bit foreign to you?
Actually, I never played it.
Wow. Really?
According to what I've seen, it seems similar to the normal Warcraft 3.
Yes.
Except the Alta Hero summoning.
Yes, well, it is. It is, except for the Alter Hero summoning. You're absolutely right. But of course, it's very similar to Warcraft 3 in that it's a real-time strategy game. So, for those of you who don't know, if you're familiar with a game like, say, Command & Conquer 3, Red Alert 2, Warcraft 3, all those sort of games, then that's exactly what this is. It's a real-time strategy game. And it's got a very high learning curve. I mean, Doc, you say you're not a huge StarCraft player. I bet you would actually really enjoy the story and the characters, but is it that enormous learning curve that's ever put you off from playing it, or are you just not a real-time strategy player, period?
Yeah, I'm just not an RTS
Yeah.
game player.
Yeah, look, I mean, that's the thing. Some people are, some people aren't. And the great thing about RTS is that a lot of the reason that people aren't is because they don't understand it, or they've watched a few games, they don't understand what's going on, and by my own admission, hell does it look boring. It's like, great, I have to wait around for half an hour for my army to gather enough resources to build something exciting, and then I get killed in 5 minutes. Boy, does that look like fun. Is that about your opinion of it, Doc?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, when you could be playing other games that are action from the get-go. You know what? That's what I used to think as well. And by the way, big hello to you, Arietti, who says, I'm here, but I'm eating dinner. Oh, you know what, Ari, you've broken the first cardinal sin. You've talked about food already. I was already hungry going into this stream, and now you've brought up food. Good Lord. I think you deserve -5 internet points. I've definitely got to build some kind of website, or get somebody who knows what they're doing to build some kind of website for me so I can start tracking internet points, because that'd be a DKP -50 for you, Ari, if there was such a thing. Of course, I'm only joking. It's great to have you along. Thank you for joining us while you eat. Let us know what you're eating if you really want to rub it in. Doc, have you had dinner already? You must have. I'd imagine it's quite late for you. Is it sort of late evening where you are?
It is, but I don't eat that much anyway. I usually eat one meal, but I did have a sausage cheese bagel.
Okay, -50 DKP for you as well. You guys are all horrible. Harvest is saying I should go get something to eat myself. No, I'll wait. We can be hungry together. Yeah, that's right. See, we are together in crime. Harvest Moon Crazed and I, we are going on the we're on a hunger strike. That's what we are, I think. Something like that. Look, I've got my cup of tea, Harvest. I'm just going to have a sip now, in fact. This is good old Earl Grey tea, because, Doc, I'm a civilized man, right? No mankinis today.
Of course. Either that or a Star Trek Next Generation fan.
Exactly. Thank you, Picard. Thank you. Actually, Sawi, are you a Star Trek fan or a Star Wars fan? Or are you both, Sawi?
I'm not much into Star Trek.
Really? What about Star Wars?
I actually own episode 4 to 6.
Oh, good. Okay. So, if hopefully you're like me, and episode 1 to 3 don't exist, you get +10 internet points, Sawi. Unlike Arietti, who's -10 already. She says she's having some Korean food. Oh, it's one of my favorites. Korean is in my top 3 foods are Taiwanese, Japanese, and Korean. So Arietti, that's another -10. That's another -10. You're in the negative. We should have an Arietti internet point counter, because it's just going to go down, down, down. You can see Harvest has joined us in the mumbles here. Hello, Harvest. Are you and I? It's Hungry Harvest.
Oh, yeah, kind of.
Kind of. Hang on.
I can wait.
You can wait. Or are you sneaking a quickie on the side there?
I don't feel like getting up to go get anything to eat. I'll wait.
There you go. Good stuff. Well, this isn't going to be a super long stream, so I think you'll be able to last, hopefully. Oh, great. Look at this. Nemesis the Bold is having hot dogs. Does anybody else want to chip in with their food fantasy? Oh, my Lord. Oh, dear. I can't believe this. I'd share with you, Harvest, if I could. Yeah, great. You mail some of that Korean food over to me and Harvest. No problem there. So you've got some. Oh, do you like ramen? Do you, Harvest? I love ramen. Seriously. Is it? And do you like the packet stuff, or do you like the stuff that you actually buy at a Japanese cafe?
I've actually never been to a Japanese cafe. We get the packet stuff.
Yeah, no, I love the packet stuff actually, but the real stuff is really cool. So it's so different when you very first have real ramen after having packet stuff for so many years. And of course, if your budget's tight or if you're at uni or whatever, I think it's a bit of a staple diet. I think we've all been through that phase there. But first time you have real ramen, it's like, this isn't ramen, because you're used to the packet ones, Arietti is saying, I'm only mailing it to Harvest since you're giving me -DK. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's fair enough. I've got something in my throat today too. Oh dear, oh dear. Hopefully it's not the remnants of my mankini from yesterday, because I forgot to tell you guys, it was an edible mankini, so I had to eat it at the end of our live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream from yesterday, and of course hopefully Minnie will join us next week as we do some more Dead Space 3, because that was a whole bunch of fun. Really enjoyed that. Hello Idomeneo, hope I said your name wrong. Is Bear right rather? I hope I said your name wrong, that's terrible. Hello there. Bear, yes it is. In fact, I'm going to type that. Beer is considered food where I come from, which is New Zealand. So absolutely, yes. Harvest, you agree with me there. Actually, Harvest, have you ever had Guinness? Do you know what Guinness is?
Yeah, I've had Guinness before.
You basically have to eat that with a spoon. It's so thick. That's a whole food, if you ask me. Guinness definitely is. Harvest is saying, oh, you saw the picture of me on Facebook, did you? That one of me, the Baywatch one. That's me in Santa Monica in my mankini. What did you think?
It's definitely going to stick in my head. That's for sure.
I don't know, Doc, if you know what we're talking about here, but I graced the internet with a picture of myself in my mankini before yesterday's show. So, you know, if you'd like to pleasure your eyeballs, you're welcome to go along to my Facebook page and have a look. Of course, the pleasure is a subjective term.
I don't know. I might have to clean them out later.
Yeah, you might have to. Doc is saying shocking. Thanks. Yeah, you're welcome, Nemesis. No problem at all. It's my pleasure. Now, what we're going to do again, I need you guys, for if you've come along late to the start of the stream, here's a link. I'm going to pop it in the Twitch chat there. That's a straw poll link, and because we're just going to be touching a little bit of the tutorial of my tutorial from last week, recapping and just doing a little bit more in this stream. It's totally for noobs, so if you've never played StarCraft, crank it up right now and you can play along with me while we get ready. It'll be about an hour, and then after that we're going to do another stream, which is of course the usual fun stream, and it's up to you guys as to which game you'd like me to stream next. So that link there is for you to vote, so I'll just post that in there again. There we go. Yes, Harvest, it's long curly hair flowing in the ocean breeze, and then there was the long curly hair on my head as well. So it goes from bad to you bring it on yourself, Harvest. You bring it on yourself. That's all I'm going to say. Let's have a look.
I laugh about it though, so it's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. It's all right. I'm giving you scarred mental images. Now, Doc, I can see that you're in StarCraft 2 here. So good lad, good on you. You're diving in. I don't know if you remember from last week. And by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, then thanks for following along. You'll have plenty of options to pause the video if we go too fast for you. If you don't catch it all here on the live stream, this will be up on YouTube later, so don't worry too much. But if you've got StarCraft 2, crank it up right now, and you can play along with us, because that's what it's designed for indeed. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to head to some custom games. I don't know if you remember this from last week, but custom games is where we're going to go, and we're just going to do it again without any enemies. So it's going to be nice and simple, so you don't have to worry about how fast you do this or about getting your butt kicked by the AI. Of course, you do have to worry about that later on, because that's what will happen. But if you followed my instructions last week, you should have bookmarked a map. And that map should have been something like Agria Valley, I think. So my StarCraft's running a little bit slow, but there we go. Agria Valley. So you need to find that, and it'll either be in your bookmarks if you were here from last week, or it'll just be at the top of the list when you browse the games. So that's what we want. And you can see the number 2 beside it. It means it's made for a one-on-one. 2 players is what that's for. Any map you see in a list, by the way, you can click this little cog here and click on map info, and it will tell you all about it, how to play it, any reviews that other players have made, and that's where you bookmark it and unbookmark it, by the way. So nice and simple. Hello there, Torian. How are you? How are things going? I am well. Hello. Thanks for joining us. Excuse me. Definitely got no voice yesterday because Doc, I don't know if you heard, but I screamed a couple of times yesterday, so it affected my voice. Do you still have any ears left, Doc?
Yeah, but I think they're on the bed somewhere.
Yeah. I hope I didn't break anybody's equipment, any speaker equipment or headphones, and apparently Minnie was saying that game isn't as scary as Dead Space 1, so I'd hate to play Dead Space 1. I actually discovered that I own Dead Space 1 on Steam, so I must have bought it in one of those Steam sales. I mean, Harvest, are you like me where you buy games on Steam and then they sit there and you never play them for 10 years? Am I the only one that does that?
I know my boyfriend, he has like a lot of games on his Steam he doesn't play, so you're not the only one that does that.
Terrible. What about you, Sawi? Are you on Steam, and do you buy games and never play them?
Actually, I haven't bought games on Steam for the free ones I use there with optional buy stuff doesn't work that well. Starts up, then suddenly closes down.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know. I think Steam is evil. I think Steam is evil because they trick you into, hey, this game's only $2.99 and you buy like 10 of them. So you still end up spending $30 or $40 anyway. It's so shocking. And they sit there unplayed. Ariete is saying, my cheeks got a good workout from laughing. Well, Ariete, my cheeks got a good workout from my mankini. And I'll let that thought just sink right in for you while you eat your dinner. No problem at all. So once again, folks, what would you like us to stream next after this tutorial? There's the straw poll right there. Go along and have a bit of a vote, and it'll be up to you whether we play Hearthstone. And of course, if we play some Hearthstone, what that means is that we'll be challenging the chat room, of course. If we play Heroes of the Storm, if you've got yourself into the alpha and you need to go and check in your Battle.net account for that, then you can play along with us. And of course, if you're in Diablo 3, we can play that as well. So it's up to you guys. Let's have a look.
If I add something to your Heroes of the Storm comment there?
Yeah? What was that? Sorry, Sawi?
Your opinion of Heroes of the Storm, it's not just being in the alpha, but also being of the American server of the alpha.
Oh, yes, of course. So it's not in the EU, is it? I never thought of that. Well, I'm on the American server. So that means that you couldn't play it, I suppose, even if you got in the alpha, right?
I am in the alpha on the EU.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you can't play with us, right? Okay, now that's a good point. Thank you, so. But by the way, congratulations for getting into the alpha. Because it's great. Yeah, awesome.
I got in last week.
Fantastic.
On Wednesday.
Good stuff. Congratulations. And a lot of you guys should go and check your Battle.net account right now because you might be in it and you don't know. By the way, I'm looking at the votes here. Can you guys be any more split down the middle? Seriously? This is it's like 4-4-3 so far. Oh, now it's you guys, you're the worst bunch of voters ever because they're all completely even now. It's basically 33% each for each game. That doesn't help me one bit. That does not help one bit. You're horrible people. Seriously. All right, we'll let that keep going for a while. And hang on, let me see if I can pop that link in the chat again. There we go, and look, Ariete's going, ew. All right, so come on, crank up your StarCraft if you're in, and what we want to do is go to Agria Valley, and we want to create a game. We don't want to join a game. That's a really important thing. We want to create a game, and if you haven't played this map before, or if the map has updated since the last time we played it, it will download very, very quickly, but you can see here I'm already entering the lobby. Now, what we want to do, normally, of course, you could add a player if you want to play against somebody else. Or you could add AI if you want to play against some very easy AI, and we will be doing that very shortly. But for now, what you want to do is just leave that empty so we can do some learning. Now, Doc, after we've done this recap from last week, if you don't mind, if you're around, seeing as you're in game, wouldn't mind adding you to a game, not so I can beat you, but so we can work on this together and I can show some interaction with the enemy without the enemy kicking my ass, if that makes sense. Would you be up for a little bit of that?
Sure.
All right, good stuff. You can help us out. In the meantime, folks, create a game with nobody in it and hit start game. Now, don't be alarmed when the first thing that comes up... Well, by the way, make sure you choose Terran. We forgot that last week. Choose Terran and choose yourself a color as well. But make sure you are Terran. Don't make it random. Now, the first thing that will pop up is it will say game over. And I think that surprises a lot of people. In fact, I think, Doc, last week that surprised you and you hit the wrong button, if I remember rightly. I think.
Yeah.
Yep, you did. So don't worry, folks. It's because the game condition is set to basically if there's no enemy, you win. So there you go. It's come up. Victory. How's that? The easiest victory ever in the world. So it comes up straight away with that. But don't worry about that. What you need to make sure you do is you hit return to game and not score screen. So return to game is what we want to do. And you can see that you'll be here, sitting here with a whole bunch of your little SCVs mining their hearts out. So we're just going to cover off a couple of things. What we need to do is make sure that we have some things set in the menu. So F10 will bring up the menu. It will also pause the game, seeing as we're playing against nobody. We go to options, and one of the things you want to do is make sure that you confine the mouse cursor. So controls here, we go to controls, and you can see you've got it set to automatic, off, or on. Make sure that is set to on, especially if you're playing in a windowed mode. That's really important for scrolling the screen around. Also make sure your mouse sensitivity is up a little bit higher and that your scroll speed sensitivities are down a little bit. So up and down, nice and easy. The other thing is, of course, if the game is running slow, turn down the graphics. You can just literally go graphics quality and set that to something like medium or high or low or whatever you want to. Make sure you get a nice smooth frame rate. You can do what you like with the volume of the controls, etc., the voices rather, but what you want to do here is make sure that under the gameplay tab, this here, enable simple command card, is turned off. That is extremely important. Make sure that is turned off. So enable simple command card is off. And that's about it really. There's a couple of hotkeys that I've changed, but not anything to worry about too much. Once you've done that, we can head back into the game. So you can see now if I move my mouse to the edges of the screen, it's automatically going to scroll it, but not too fast, and that's what we want. We don't want anything too fast. What we do want to know though is if you want to get somewhere quickly on the map, you can actually just left click on the mini map down the bottom left here, and that'll take us quickly to areas of the map. We can also set map hotkeys, and we'll be covering that off later on in this episode. But for now, what we want to do, I don't know if you remember, is we need to start creating units, and we were setting up some command groups last time. What I need you guys to do is click on the command center with the left button, of course. And what we're going to do is we're going to assign that to control group number 4. So what we have to do, and I don't know if you remember this, Doc, but with the command center selected, we hold our control key and hit 4. And there we go. So what that does is that enables us to very, very quickly select that command center there. And in fact, a lot of people even use 5. So it's up to you. We are going to make units that build other units. I prefer them to be on 4. A lot of people use 4 for the command center because they're SCVs. Personally, I like 5, so I'm going to actually hit Control 5. Don't worry about the fact we've already got 4 there. So what that means is, of course, I could be anywhere on the map. If I double tap 5, what happens? It brings me straight back to the command center, which is really, really neat. So remember, if you double tap 5, takes it straight back, and also it means that it's selected. If I'm over here and I haven't got it selected, let's select an SCV. If I'm way over here, and then if I just hit 5 once, look at this, the command center is selected, and it means I could build an SCV just by hitting the key S. I don't actually have to be seeing it. Okay, so hit it once, selects it, hit it twice, double tap 5, we go there. If I move myself away, hit it once, and hit S twice, guess what's going to happen? There we go, I'm training 2 SCVs. If I double tap it, and again this is 5, I do recommend you use 5, then we're back there and we're watching them. So we're just building 2 SCVs, nice and simple. So Control 5 is the one we want for our command center. Now the other cool thing that we do is we make sure that our rally point for the command center is inside the mineral field. So any SCVs that are being built are automatically, there they go, automatically being sent to build, to gather mines. If I had my rally point out here, which I do by selecting the command center and right clicking on the ground, there you go, you can see there it is out in the middle of nowhere. Let's hit S to build an SCV, and Doc, 10 internet points up for grabs. What's going to happen if I've got my rally point sent way over in the middle of nowhere? What happens to the SCV when it gets built?
It'll end up in the middle of nowhere.
Yep, there it is. In fact, there it goes. And it's completely useless. That is an absolute waste, because in this game, every second counts. And right now, that SCV there is being wasted because it is not gathering minerals. So what I need to do is select it. And of course, we can select it by lassoing it or clicking on it. Right click on the mineral field, and away it goes to gather more minerals. I'm going to select my command center and reassign the rally point in the mineral field just by right clicking in the mineral field. Okay, so there we go, nice and easy. So that's step 1. We have assigned the command center to control group 5. nice and easy, and we are starting to build SCVs. Now the general rule of thumb is don't click on things, use hotkeys. So whilst you could click on this little S here to build our SCVs, it's better just to hit S on the keyboard. And what you want to do is basically always have 2 SCVs in training. So it's not going to be happening today because we're talking through stuff, but I'm going to hit it twice. There we go, 2 S's. So we've got our 2 being built. Now don't forget, we're going to run into a problem because up the top here we've got 10/11. Now Harvest, I know that you're probably not following along with the stream or it's lagged a little bit, but I don't know if you were watching last week, but there's a thing that I used to call how many rooms are available in our house. And here's a test for you, Harvest. If it says 11:11 and I go to build the 12th unit in my game, is it going to let me build 12 units? Here's a real tough question for you. What do you reckon, Harvest?
I missed a lot of that stream because I was at work, but I'm gonna go with no, you can't, because you don't have space.
Exactly. Thank you. That makes total sense, doesn't it? It says 11 out of 11. In this game, it's called supply, and if we hover over it, it says all living units cost supply. We have to build supply depots to increase the supply. In stupid Sambo talk, it's much easier than that. It's saying we currently have 11 units in play. We only have 11 rooms for them to live in. So if I go to make unit number 12, and I'm going to do that by hitting S, here we go.
Additional supply depots required.
Did you hear that? It said additional supply depots required. Not enough supply. I can't build anymore. And that is, in StarCraft terms, being called supply blocked. That's what supply blocked is, and it's a major mechanic of the game. So what we need to do is, you can see my minerals are piling up here. There's my mineral count. We've got plenty of minerals. We're going to select one of these little SCV guys, and we're going to bring him over here, and I'm going to get him to build us some more rooms, basically. And the way we do that is we say, hey you, I want you to build something. So I'm going to hit B for build structure. Nice and easy. And then what I want him to build, he can build a whole bunch of things, but I want him to build a supply depot which provides us with supply. So I'm just going to hit S. And then I get this little cursor and I can left click on the ground wherever it's not red and get him to build it. Let's zoom in. Yep, there he goes. He is off building that. Now I'm not happy with just one, so I'm going to click on another SCV and go BS, build supply, because of course I can have 2 SCVs doing stuff at once. If I really want to go nuts, I can grab another one and go build supply. There we go. I've got 3 supply units being built. And you'll see as this one finishes, it's going to go from 11 to 19. Each one is worth 8 rooms. Okay, so we've just added another basically 24 rooms to our big house. Now the thing to remember though is, I don't know if you noticed, but Doc, once a SCV finishes building something, what happens? Does it automatically go back to mining minerals?
Nope, it sits there going, you want me to do something else now?
Yeah, exactly, and that's a big problem because any SCV that's sitting there doing nothing is a wasted SCV, by the way. So we need to put them to work. So what you can do is there's a little counter above your mini-map over here, and I didn't talk to you about this last week, guys, but you can see here it says idle worker. It's just to the left. You can see where I'm wriggling my mouse there. And I've got that set to the tilde key. I think by default it's set to F1, but I've got mine set to tilde, which is the little key to the left of your 1 on the top row of your keyboard there. If I tap that, it's telling me that there's 3 idle workers. If I tap that once, it automatically selects an idle worker. I'm going to set him back to the mineral field. If I tap tilde again, it selects the next idle worker, and I'm going to set him back to the mineral field. So it's a way of not having to worry about looking on the field and finding one. You just literally use this idle worker button here. So assign it a key, and I highly recommend that you do assign it to that tilde there rather than F1. Shiv is saying Sambo equals an idle worker. Yeah, she's probably about right. That means to me that Shiv must be in the chat. Hello Shiv, how are you?
Hi, Sambo.
I am definitely an idle worker, there's no doubt about that. Good to see you, by the way. Now, if you guys want to know how to pause the game, you can either hit F10, which will bring up your achievements and options and all that sort of stuff, or if you want, you can actually hit the pause break keyboard. There we go. The pause break key, which is basically in the same group where your print screen button is. So it will say print screen, scroll lock, pause break. It's just above your arrow keys there. That will also pause the game. And the reason I want to pause the game is I don't want too many more minerals to be collected right now, because minerals, remember, are a finite resource, so they will disappear. We'll mine that out. It's called mining out, and you don't want that to happen just yet. But Shiv, I just wanted to pause briefly to ask you, how has your first week of married life been?
Second week.
Second week. Gosh, time goes so fast. So, firstly, are you still together? That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, he's still here. He still likes it so far, don't you, babe? Huh? No, it's second.
Okay.
Glad to hear it. And are you guys back home now, or are you still on honeymoon?
We're back home right now. I'm looking at my street classes. Really, that help me.
The street passes, what, as in your 3DS?
Yes, and I sent somebody in this room a friend code, and somebody I sent an email to with my friend code, and somebody hasn't gone back to me. I don't know who that is. Sambo.
Oh, yeah. Look, I've been terrible. I play it every day on the tram, right? But I very rarely hook it up to Wi-Fi. And it's funny, I was thinking about doing that today. So today I will be, and I know a bunch of you guys have sent me your friend codes, and I apologize. I've been very slack. So don't take that personally, Shiv. It's just me being lazy bum. So I think you're right. I am an idle worker. There we go. But it's such a great game. Are you playing Smash Bros?
Actually, right now I'm looking at Mii's because I got more street passes with the street pass event that was going on. So I'm trying to collect all those.
Yeah, gosh, Are you going to be buying a new 3DS? Or are you happy with the one you've got? Like the new ones, you know what I mean? The newly designed ones.
Depends, because my 3DS is the retro NES edition that you only get from the American GameStops. So I don't know yet.
No, that's pretty cool. I wouldn't get rid of that. Absolutely not. Well, look, nice to have you along, by the way, and feel free to join in if you've got StarCraft. Let's unpause. So what we're going to do with this guy, I don't know if you remember rightly, but we need to build some stuff. Now we've built these supply units. We've got houses here. We've got empty houses. We need to fill them up. So we're going to get this guy to build. So we want to have a look around and find out where our ramp is. So we're just going to do a bit of scouting. I'm right-clicking here with the mouse just to open up, because we've got a fog of war, and you can see it there on the mini-map as well. Just opening up, and we want to have a look and see where our ramp down into the world is. And look, there it is right there. So there's always going to be a ramp down from your base. So what we're going to do is we're going to build some barracks near that ramp. So we're around about here. So I'm going to go B for build and then B for barracks. And we're going to drop that down there. And in fact, I'm going to get another SCV. There we go. And I'm going to say BB. Get him to build some barracks, and I'm going to do it again, BB. So I'm going to build 3 lots of barracks. Now, the thing is, at the moment, we're doing something wrong, and that is that we have not got SCVs building. So all we need to do is hit 5 once, and then hit S twice. There we go. I didn't have to move my mouse, didn't have to do anything. Because remember, we assigned the command center to control group number 5. Nice and simple. And I can easily build SCVs, whether I'm looking at my base or not. So please do get into the habit of using hotkeys rather than scrolling around slowly like this, clicking on this, then clicking S. Now, at any one time, like I say, you want to try and have 2 SCVs building up to, and I don't know if you can see this here, but there's a number above your command center. Mine currently says 11 out of 24. Doc Sun, I'm going to throw you another really rough question. What do you reckon is the optimum number of SCVs to have mining minerals on a command center if my number says 12 out of 24?
12.
No, the optimum number is 24. So what it's doing is it's giving us a bit of a hint and saying, hey, if you've got 24 SCVs mining minerals, if you build 25, it's a waste of time because they can't collect it any faster. Once again, folks, I now have a whole bunch of idle SCVs. So what am I going to do? I'm going to hit the tilde key, right-click the mineral, tilde, right-click mineral, tilde, right-click mineral, and off they go back to doing what they're supposed to be doing. I'm going to tap 5 once, and I'm going to hit S twice, to be building 2 more SCVs. Nice and simple. What I also want to do, and we didn't do this last week, is I'm going to click on an SCV and I'm going to go build, but instead of building a barracks or a supply unit, I'm going to build what's called a refinery. And that's R, nice and easy. And that's on these things here, the Vespine Geyser, because some of the units we're going to be building require gas as well as minerals. So we've hit B, we're going to hit R, and there we go, we're going to click down there. I'm going to grab another SCV, and I'm going to hit B, R. B for build, R for refinery, and find the Vespine Geyser and click it down there. They are off building. There we go. Now once they have been finished being built, they will have a number above their head, and it will say 1 of 3, and we're about to see this one finish building. There it is. You can see it's got 1 worker assigned to it out of 3. So Doc, I'm going to send you another trick question here. If it currently says 1/3 on my refinery, how many more workers do you think I should assign to it to make it the most efficient gas gathering?
2.
Exactly. So I'm just going to click a random SCV, right click on the refinery. You can see the number of workers goes to 2 out of 3. Going to do it again. And there we go. We now have 3 out of 3 workers gathering gas. And you can see my gas here, Vespine number is going up. We need to do the same down the bottom. Currently it's only got 1. So I'm going to grab an SCV, right click on the bottom Vespine refinery and do it again. So I've now got 3 out of 3 there. I need to tap 5 and hit S twice again, because I've now lost 6 of my mineral gatherers to gathering gas. So you can see how it all starts coming together. It's nice and simple. So let's keep that up. We'll just keep building SCVs and keep gathering gas and minerals. Nice and simple. If I ever want to center the whole, no matter where I am, if I ever want to center the screen on my base, I double tap 5. And it'll take me straight back there, because of course I've got that set to my command center. I need to tap S twice more because I've only got 13 out of 24 gathering minerals. Now, for the purposes of this tutorial, we are going to unfortunately run out of minerals here, and that's okay, because that means that we are mined out. In a normal game, we would have already bought a contingency plan, and we're going to cover that off right now in a minute. But what we need to do first is we need to talk about these barracks. So if we go over to the barracks, you can see we've built 3 of them. Now, Doc, are you doing this along with us now live, by the way?
Yes, I am mostly listening at this point.
Yeah, that's okay, no problem. So you should have, between 1 and 3 barracks built. And what we need to do is we need to assign them a hotkey as well. It's very, very important. So what I'm going to do is I can either lasso select all of these. It's very simple. Just lasso like their units, or I can click on one and then, just like anything in Windows, hold shift, click on the second one, hold shift, click on the third one. It's up to me, up to you, how you want to select all 3. The most important thing is select all of your barracks, whether you've got 2 or whether you've got 5, select them all. They get assigned to control group number 4. Okay, so this is my numbering system, but it works. It really does work, I think, in the long run. So I'm going to hold down control and hit 4. So let's recap now. If I hit and double tap 5, 5 is the command center. If I double tap 4, 4 are our barracks. All 3 barracks are there. Does that make sense, Doc?
Yep.
Good. Okay, so what we need to get in our head is if I hit 5 once, no matter where I am on the screen, if I hit 5 once and then hit S a couple of times, I am building SCVs and they are automatically going to be mining minerals. Easy. If I hit 4, it's going to select, I don't have to double tap it, it's going to select all my barracks. As you can see there, I can immediately train Marines or Reapers by hitting A or R.
Depleted.
What I need to do is I need to set a rally point. So while I've got 4 selected, I just right click somewhere, and I'm going to do this near my ramp, and you can see it sets the rally point for all 3 of those barracks to the same place. So now if I just tap A 3 times, bang, 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 it's got automatically is having each of those barracks produce one of our little army units, one of our super Sambo army Marines. And watch what happens when they get built. I bet you can't guess what's going to happen and where they're all going to end up. Here we go. Away they go. They're building now. 1, 2, 3. There they go. We are now building at once 3 at once, and they're all gathering at that rally point there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just spam A. There we go. The queues are full. I am now building basically 15 Marines. Away they go. And very shortly, 15 Marines are going to appear there. I don't have to stay here and watch. I'm going to double tap 5 again to go back to our control center. I'm going to hit S a couple of times to make sure that we've got SCVs mining. Okay, it's as simple as that. You can see very shortly I'm going to run out of rooms in the house, just like Harvest was talking about, because it's currently 33 out of 35, 34 out of 35. I need to grab an SCV and say BS, build supply. I'm going to grab another SCV. Build, there we are, it's warning us already. Build supply. There we go, there's another one. Grab another SCV. Build supply. I'm going to build about 4 of them at once. There we go. So I am currently supply blocked. I cannot build any more Marines because I don't have enough supply. I'm at 35 out of
Additional
35.
supply depots
And
required.
there you go, you could hear the warning again. So be very careful that you don't get supply blocked, because that's a bad situation to be in, because right now I'm stuck. Okay, if I was getting attacked or something, I could not build any more armies. It's shocking. Now don't forget, once they've built those supply, they're going to be idle. So I need to hit tilde and then go send them back to the mineral field. Tilde, mineral field, tilde, mineral field. There we go. Now I'm 41 out of 67. If I ever want to build any more Marines, I can either double tap or single tap 4, and there I just start whacking A.
Mineral field depleted.
And there we go. So that's where we left it last week in terms of the basics of the tutorial. So if you're wondering where we're at, we're halfway through this stream. What we're going to do now is introduce you to the next lot of advanced features. Okay, so let's recap what we've done just from the start. It's actually very simple. We have selected our control center in the middle and assigned it to control group number 5. We've ensured that we're building at least 2 SCVs at any one point. Okay, now we've been playing really slow, so we're about to get mined out, so don't worry about that. But we make sure that the rally point is in the mineral field and that we're building 2 at one point. We're going to make sure that we've built supply depots so that the number of rooms in our house is big enough to accommodate for the army and units we're going to build. That's point number 2. Point number 3, we're going to mine some gas. So we've got to build refineries and get them going. And we want 3 workers on each of them. Nice and simple. Next step is we're going to build some barracks, because barracks create our soldiers. And not only that, but we're going to assign them to hotkey number 4. So when I tap number 4 on the keyboard, they all get selected like that. And it's very easy for me to build my army. And we're going to set the rally point somewhere near the front of our base. That's it. That is the end of tutorial number 1. Tutorial number 2 starts now, and it's very simple because timely, we've run out of minerals. So Doc, I mean, this is a problem, right? We no longer have minerals at our main base. Why would that be a problem, do you reckon?
Because we would still need minerals to build things, and if we run out of them in a field, then we're not producing any more minerals.
Exactly. So in other words, once those minerals run out, that's it. I can't produce any more resources, can't produce any more units once my current stash runs out. By the way, if this Evis size tagger, I hope I said your name right there. Hello. I've heard in a normal game, your CC, 16 out of 24 is the ideal worker amount for steady income. You're absolutely right. It is 16 out of 24 because things are moving so fast. Absolutely right, Evis, if you don't mind me calling you that. That's absolutely correct. Today, though, we're just learning the concepts rather than the actual numbers and when to build stuff. So what we need to do, this is mineral field depleted. What we need to do, Doc, is we need to go and find ourselves a new source of minerals. Now, this is called our main, what we're looking at here. It's called a main. All bases will have what's called a natural. And basically what will happen is next door to your base, and I don't know if you can see on the stream, and I don't know what your map looks like, but right next to your base will be another mineral field. And that is called your natural. And what we need to do is we need to send an SCV off there. So I'm going to grab one, and we're going to right click on the ground. Here he goes. Now, of course, in a normal game we would have done this a lot earlier, but we'll just get him to push through our Marines here. There we go. Away he goes, and he's going to scout out this natural mineral field which is around here. And what we need him to do is create ourselves a second base. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, we want to easily be able to gather this natural mineral field here because our one is about to run out very shortly. But also, we want to have a backup base because if the enemy pours in here and basically destroys our main command center, we're screwed. We are absolutely screwed. We need a backup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this guy to build a C command center. Nice and easy, and we want it, there's only a certain place it can basically fit in the mineral field there. There we go. He is building a command center, so that's like base number 2. Okay, now Doc, on your map, you should have easily been able to find a very nearby mineral field, yeah?
Yep. And I did.
Okay, good stuff. Nice and simple. Every single map has one. And we are building our secondary command center there. And again, that's our backup, and it's also our new resource, if you like, a new source of minerals. Now, sadly for us, we would never end up in this position in a real game, but look at all of this. All of these SCVs here are idle because they've completely run out of minerals to gather. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select them all and just dump them over here by this command center that's being built. We'll just grab all of the other ones as well. Whoops, not you. I accidentally selected all of my SCVs. That was a bit stupid. And we'll pull these over here. There we go, 1, 2, we'll leave 3 on the gas. The gas lasts a bit longer, by the way. And if you ever want to know what the resource limit is, if you click on a resource like minerals or a gas, down here in the center, you can see that it says remaining. So currently there are 820 units of gas remaining in that geyser. So you can always see that. It's very, very handy. Let's get these SCVs all over here. And lo and behold, look what's happened. We've got our secondary base over here all set up. Nice and simple. Let's get all of these SCVs here working on the minerals. And let's also make sure that our rally point for this command center is also set in the mineral field. So there we go, we are now gathering minerals once again. And if I really want to, I can say BR, build refinery, grab another SCV, BR, and we can be building more refineries as well. Now, the trick here, right, is that what we want to do is we want to add in these 2 command centers to a control group. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap 5, which of course is our existing command center. I'm going to scroll over here, hold down Shift, and select my new command center, and then I'm going to hit Control 5 again. And what that means is that my 5 key now controls both of those command centers. So if I hit S, it's going to build SCVs in both of them. Now, of course, it's useless building SCVs in this one because there's no minerals right now. But in a normal game, that would be very handy. I can now build SCVs at both bases very, very quickly. So I hope that, did that make sense, Doc? We're basically adding adding another command center into our hotkey number 5. Or is that confusing?
That was easy enough to follow.
Okay, good stuff. Now, I'm not going to build like that because, as you can see, what it's going to do is it's going to build now SCVs over here that are going to do nothing. In a normal game, though, there would be minerals still there. So I hope that makes sense. So that's advanced tip number 2, is to make sure, speaking of number 2, you have a secondary base minimum set up. Minimum of a secondary base. Most people also will set up a third base. So we could take our idle SCV that I've got sitting here, who was building supply units, and I could send him, say, over here. Away he goes. And we'll watch him. Here he goes. By the way, if you ever want to follow a unit, you can just left click on its portrait and hold down with your button, and it will follow that unit. It's nice and easy. Or you can just click on it to get it to center to where it is. Nice and simple. But as you can see over to my right, here is another mineral field. Now this one is interesting because it's called a rich mineral field, and the minerals are yellow rather than blue. Now, Harvest, I don't know if you've fallen asleep on us yet, but I'm going to send you a trick question. Our normal minerals are blue, and they're just called mineral field. I'm looking at a mineral field where they're yellow or gold, and it says rich mineral field. Can you hazard a guess as to what the difference might be? Tough question, I know, especially if you're not a StarCraft 2 player, but have a guess. Mineral field versus rich mineral field. What do you reckon might happen? Oh, I think she might have fallen asleep on us. I'll tell you the answer.
What?
That's okay. It's all right. I'll give you the answer anyway. What it is these actually produce more minerals per gather than the other ones. In other words, these are worth basically like double the amount of minerals. So if you can find a rich mineral field, they will gather a lot quicker. Except we've got one problem. We've got a bunch of rocks in the way. I can't, if I go BC, build command center, look what's going on here. It's all red. I can't build a command center right there because there's a bunch of rocks in the way. It is super annoying. We have to destroy it. So this is where our army comes in. And this is the other part of our advanced StarCraft 2 training session today, is how to control armies. So we've already figured out how to build up resources, how to build a base, and how to build marines. In fact, we can now tap 4 once, and I'm going to build just one more round of marines. There we go. 1, 2, 3. So they will all build at once. We need to learn how to control our army full of marines. Hello.
Been waiting on you.
been waiting on you. And of course they're all like Tychus. If you're familiar with Tychus from the campaign, that's basically what they are. That's what he is. He's a Marine. What we want to do is we want to circle select all of them. There we go. We've got a whole bunch of them there, as you can see. Very powerful army. And we're going to assign them to a control group number 1. That's it. So Doc, our army is 1. So hold down control, hit 1, and there we go. They are all assigned to control group 1. If I double tap 1, it's always going to center on the army. If I right click on the ground, away they go. Easy? I reckon it's easy enough.
Yeah, easy.
Easy, too easy. What do you reckon, Shiv?
You're gonna kill me when you see what I wrote, Jack.
What are you writing in there? Let me see. Let me go to the Twitch chat. Ash, do you think we should follow them? I mean, Hearthstone to get beaten by someone who never played before. Oh. Are you bringing up Amadeus's win last week? Is that what you're doing? Good
I might be. I mean, he did beat you, and he never played Hearthstone before.
Yeah, maybe it's hard. Well, currently, it's a tie between all 3 games, basically. So you guys are hopeless. So if you and Armour could please vote on what we're going to be doing next. And by the way, you may have missed that, Shiv. Hang on, here we go. There's a straw poll. I've just popped it in. There it is. Just popped it in the Twitch chat. So you need to go and vote because it's dead tied at the moment. So there we go. Yes, you are absolutely dead when I see that. I can see what. And hello there, Ashley. I see you laughing. I see you laughing.
Is this today or is this tomorrow?
This is today. This is now. This is right now.
Cool.
So because we're nearly done with this StarCraft stream. It's part 2 of our tutorial, so it's not going to be very long. So what we're doing now is we're learning how to army. So we're going to recap. If I double tap 5, it's our command center. If I double tap 4, it's our production. And at the moment, it's just Marines. And in fact, I'm going to build more Marines by tapping A whole bunch of times. There we go. In the background. If I double tap 1, there's our army, which we can move around by right-clicking. Nice and easy. Now what I need to do is I need to use my army to destroy these rocks. Now I can do a couple of things. If I right-click on it, you may say to yourself, why isn't that working? Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. I'm right-clicking on it. My cursor's not red, so right-clicking on it won't do anything. That's because it's a neutral unit. So what I need to do is I need to attack that. And to attack move, I tap A with my army selected, A, and you can see I've got a cursor now. Then I just left click on those rocks or any enemies, and guess what? Whee! We are now destroying said rocks. Now that could be an enemy, of course, so get in the habit of A moving, attack moving, rather than right clicking. So remember, we're trying to learn hotkeys here, folks. There we go, and boom. Away goes. There we are, and let's get our army out of the way. Let's put them back over here. Now, my lonely little SCV can go B for build, C for command center, and build himself a command center at the rich mineral field. And that rich mineral field is also really nice to grab because we're basically getting double the income. To be honest, I don't know what the multiplier is on rich. I'm just going to say double. It may not be double. It might be 1.5 times the normal amount. I actually don't know. All I do know is that it's way more than the blue ones, which are way down here. All right, so once again for the recap. Command center, done, and assigned to control group number 5. We've got our supply being built, so we've got more rooms, just like Harvest mentioned. We must always keep an eye on that and always try and keep ahead. So at the moment, my forces are 62 out of 78. That's okay. If it gets any closer, I'm going to have to start building more supply. So always build them in advance. Next is I've got tap number 4 because I built 3 unit producing structures, which in this case I've just built barracks. And of course in the next episode we'll go on to building more advanced units and building more types of buildings that allow us to build those advanced units, if you know what I mean. And then we've also explored the option of getting a natural. So we have expanded and we've built a secondary base over here at our natural, which is down the ramp, and we are mining from that. And then thirdly, we've even gone and grabbed a next one. And of course I can assign these guys, and I can tap S a few times to make sure these guys are mining these local minerals here, and make sure that the rally point is set inside those minerals as well. Of course, that's very important. Now if I was doing things correctly, I would tap 5, because remember 5 is my other 2 command centers. I would then come over to this one, hold down shift, add it in, and then hit control 5 once again. So now 5 is all 3 of those. One more little trick, and of course 1, double tap 1 is our army. There they go. And you can see in the meantime we've been building up a secondary army here because I built those Marines. So I'm going to select them and hit control 2. So I hope this is making sense now. 1 is our first army, 2 is our second army, so we've got 2 army to move around. Guess what, Doc? Do you reckon I'm going to build a third army as well?
Sure, why not?
Why not? That's how
More
we're going
the merrier.
More the merrier. That's how we're going to finish off the screen. All I need to do is hit 4 once and then spam A few times. We'll just build ourselves a fake little army here. And that means we're going to have 3 armies. Now, if my first army is on control group 1, my second army is on control group 2, 10 internet points if you can guess which key I'm going to put this third army on.
2.5.
2.5,
3.
you got it. 11-7, that's the key I'm going to use. Of course, it's going to be on key number 3, and I'll just do that right now. Control group 3, there we go. And that's pretty typical for a StarCraft 2 setup. We have 4 for our unit production, 5 for our bases, 1, 2, and 3 for our 3 separate armies that we can control individually. And it means that very quickly I can whiz around the map. And to give you an example of this, if I double tap 1 and then just click up here, double clap, there we go, double tap 2, right click on the map, double tap 3, right click on the map up here, I haven't moved my screen at all. I've done nothing. In fact, hang on, let's add these guys to the army. There we go. 3, right, double tap 3, right click up the top, away you go. I've now got coverage going on all over the map. If I scroll around, look, all the way over here there's that army, all the way over here there's that army, and all the way over here is my third army heading off to explore up into the very north end of the map, into the enemy base. And I can get around again just by double tap 1. Let's send them off. Double tap 2, away we go, let's explore over here. Double tap 3, they're off into the enemy base. And very, very quickly, double tap 2, I'm going to send them over to that natural. I have covered off this entire map in just, I'm not doing anything. I'm just double tapping 1, 2, and 3. And I've basically exposed the entire map already. Now, Doc Sun, I don't know about you, but before learning how to play properly, and by the way, if I want to get back to my base, I just double tap 5. Easy as that. I don't know about you, but before that, I would be confused and it would be hellishly slow because I'd be doing this. I'd be edging my mouse at the end of the screen, trying to slowly move around and figure things out. Is that what you used to do? It's just really slow. Did you find this a lot faster? Now you can just go tap, 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 tap.
Yeah, definitely slow, and this looks like it'd work a lot better.
Yep. And the key is not only better, but a lot faster as well. It's super fast. So if you ever wonder, when you're watching a StarCraft 2 stream, and you think, what the hell is going on? How are they flicking around the screen so much? It's easy. You've just literally, you've got your left hand on 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm just double tapping 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. That's how I'm flicking around. There are ways of actually locking in camera positions in the game as well. We'll cover that off next week. But that's it, folks. Nice and simple. We've got ourselves a nice, simple scenario there where we've built ourselves 3 bases, so we're pretty safe. It's pretty good. We've got mineral production and gas production happening. We've hotkeyed everything. We've got 5 on our bases. We've got 4 on our barracks. We're able to build armies very, very quickly. And then we've got our 1, 2, and 3 armies all set up, and they are able to roam around the map and cause havoc. And of course, you know that if you want to attack something, you hit A while you've got your army selected, and then left click, and it will attack anything it finds along the way, or anything that you click on. So in fact, if we send our army around here, we might be able to find more rocks. In fact, there's some rocks over there. Let's send them over here. Here we go. And this, of course, is army number 3. If I double tap and hold hold 3, it will actually follow. The camera will follow. But here we go. I want to destroy. Let's pretend these are enemies. Yes, they're only rocks, but pretend they're enemies. I tap A and left click on them, and they're attacking. It's that simple. Of course, if they were real enemies, they would automatically attack as they got near, unless I told them to specifically not attack. And that's something we'll cover off in the next episode, by the way. Next episode, I'm just going to get these guys to stop attacking because it's noisy. Because down here you can see we can tell them to move, stop, hold position, and patrol. So, for example, if I was to hit P right now and say there, then look what happens. These guys move back and forth between where they were and where I want them to P. I know that sounds rude. There we go. P, patrol. It's going to put a line, imaginary line, and you can actually see it just if you zoom in there, between where they were and where I click. So we're going to cover that off next week as well. We can actually automate a lot of stuff here that we've been doing manually. But that is it. Doc, before we wrap up this part 2 of our Noobs StarCraft 2 tutorial, did you have any questions, sir?
No, it seems to be easy enough.
Yep, and what I do recommend, by the way, is it's very easy to get ahead of yourself in a game like this because, for example, if I click on a barracks, it's like, oh, what's this? This is a Reaper. Oh, what's this? I can build this tech lab. What's a reactor? And all that sort of stuff. Try to avoid that because you'll learn yourself bad habits. And that's my mistake when I was playing the game. I'd like, oh, a new unit I can build. Let's build it now. Whee! And of course, I'd run out of minerals and all sorts of horrible things. There's a definite order that works well in this game. And that order is not to blast ahead and build the best units up front because you will die very, very quickly. But as you can see, these guys are patrolling back and forth over here all by themselves. So that's good. And if I wanted to get back to them real quick, what would I do? I just double tap on 3 because they're my third army. There's my first army. Again, I could hit P and say, you guys patrol between there and there. If I want to, I can hit 2 and say, you guys patrol between this side of the fence and that side of the fence. Away we go. And look at that. They're all patrolling now, back and forth, just in case any enemy units happen to be scouting in those areas. Things like that, nice and simple. But that's it, folks. There is our StarCraft for Noobs episode number 2. Certainly hope you enjoyed that. If you've got any questions and you're watching this on the YouTubes, make sure you leave us a comment in the comment section below and I'll be more than happy to answer it. Now, what I need to do now, of course, is head on over to the straw poll and let's see if we can figure out what is going on over there. Hopefully it is not, I hope, beyond all hope, that it is not a dead tie because it's going to make our next game very, very difficult. Our next game choice, let's have a look. I'm going to refresh the page. And Heroes of the Storm won out by 1 vote. Talk about easy. You guys are split down the middle. It was 38% versus 31% versus 31% for Heroes, Hearthstone, and Diablo 3. I did notice there, Shiv, you were saying that you couldn't vote twice. That's, yeah, I've got it set so people can't vote twice. That wouldn't have been good for you because, of course, Armour wanted to vote. What would he have voted for?
Actually, he and I both want to do Heroes of the Storm.
Ah, okay, well that's the one that won anyway, so there you go, folks. I'm going to take a very short break, and by that I mean like 15 minutes max. We will be back with Heroes of the Storm. If you own Heroes of the Storm, make sure you log on in, because I'd like to play with you on my team. Yes, I'll be a handicap, I know that for sure, but anyway, that is it. Thank you very much for joining in this StarCraft 2 Noobs Part 2. Doc, thank you very much. I certainly hope you've enjoyed that, and I certainly hope you'll join us in the next one, will you?
Oh, definitely.
Great stuff. Thank you, Harvest, as well. Thank you, Shiv. Thank you, Sawi. And Ashley, I can see you there as well. Hope you guys are having a great day wherever you are in the world. We'll see you very, very shortly in our Heroes of the Storm stream. Until then, it's me signing off. Catch you very, very shortly. Bye-bye.